Namaste. The objective of this video is to understand and enhance our understanding about the auric field, understand how it protects us, and the importance of cleaning our aura clean, and even the environment where we stay in clean. Behind this physical reality looks so dense, it feels so real, a physical body, the outside environment. Behind this is a subtle existence which is made up of energetic fields. It is very difficult to believe that behind the so-called physical existence is something very subtle, and that the physical existence comes into manifestation from this subtle reality. This reality is made up of energetic fields. These energetic fields, they are there for many things. For example, for the planets, some of them have it, some of them they have it very strong, some of them have the energetic field which is weak. It depends on many different factors. Humans have electric field or the electromagnetic field, which we call the aura, or the toroidal field. You will see that even the electronic equipment in your house will have an electromagnetic field. That is because any charged particle, when it is moving, it develops a magnetic field. So it creates an electromagnetic field. And the moment there is an electromagnetic field, what I have realized is communication is possible. So our own electromagnetic field, it carries a lot of information about us. The field that you see here in the picture, it radiates through your body. You put two fingers here, and this is the space from which it comes out. It springs out. It goes all around and again re-enters your body from the below, like it is shown in the picture here. And it keeps on moving. This is passing through many chakras in your body, many different layers of your body. Our body has 5 sheets. The outside sheet, which is the physical sheet, it is even called the Annamaya Kosha. Next comes the Pranamaya Kosha, that is the pranic sheet. This is where the Vayus flow or the auric field flows. And this is where you have Kundalini or Chakras. Then comes the Manomaya Kosha, which is your emotional body. Your emotions, they are stored here. Next comes the Vyanavayu Kosha. The Vyanavayu Kosha, it is your intellect, your higher intuition, your higher intelligence. And then comes the bliss sheath, the blue area which you see in the picture here. And inside it is your Jivatma or your individual consciousness. So the individual consciousness is wrapped in many layers. So the outside physical world, the outermost sheath, which is very solid, and many people are just stuck there. They think that is the only reality. They don't understand that reality can exist at subtle levels too. When we start experiencing many different Kundalini awakening symptoms, we start experiencing the pranic sheath or the pranamaya kosha. You are experiencing one layer below the physical sheath. And this pranic sheath, it operates throughout your body as many different Vayus. The second picture here, you can see the Vayus. The Udana, Prana, Vyana, Samana and Apana. These are the 5 major Vayus which you will feel moving through your body. Apart from this, you have other minor Vayus also which do minor things in your body. So if your body is able to walk, you're able to turn your head, you're able to talk, if you're able to digest your food, if you're able to breathe, it's all because of the movements of the pranic, the 5 pranas which is happening in your pranic sheath. If the pranas here would stop, we cannot live. So our very existence, though we feel it at the physical level, it has deeper layers to it. And once the pranamaya kosha or the pranic sheath gets active, The pranic sheath allows you to move from one layer into another layer. Until the pranic sheath does not get active, you cannot look into your emotional body. You cannot understand that you hold an emotional body. You cannot see through your emotions. You can't understand that you're caught up in loops of behaviors or loops of certain choices that you make that decide how your life functions. Whether you're healthy, whether you're unhealthy, whether you're attracting good things or whether you're attracting, people who come into your life and trouble you. All these things, to understand these things, the pranic sheath has to be active. The pranic sheath allows your consciousness to move from one layer of your sheaths to another layer of your sheaths. This prana pushes. As this prana is rising up, you can see this prana here on the picture here. This is one type of prana which you see here, which is the Vyanavayu. The Vyanavayu circulates around the body. The seat of the Vyanavayu is the heart. And this keeps on circulating throughout your body. I earlier made a video on the human electromagnetic field and how it expands in a spiritual awakening process. I'll post a link to that video in the description box below. Please watch it. You will understand this concept even better. Now, this pranic field, it protects us. Or this auric field, or it is called the Vyanavayu. Prana in general is a term that is used to describe many different pranic movements in the body. So when I'm describing any of these pranic movements like apana, samana, vyana, general word prana is used. But if I have to go deep into the various movements and I have to name them differently, then these terms come up. So here we are talking about Vyanavayu, which is our auric field. In a normal person, even in an unawakened person, the Vayus are working. If the Vayus are not working, we cannot live. So a small amount of the Vyanavayu is flowing through this person's body, and this can be measured through various instruments. And this is our heart electromagnetic field. We have many different measurements like the magnetic resonance imaging, the electroencephalography, the heart rate variability, and the Kirlian photography. The magnetic resonance imaging, it uses radio waves along with a strong magnet to create images of the body. This is a non-invasive way of studying the body. Next, we have the EEG. This measures the electrical activity of the brain. The heart and brain are connected. And the connection between the heart and brain, it reaches the maximum when we have completed our spiritual awakening process. Here now the person is working both from the heart and the brain level, and they're more into a heart-based living because the intelligence is much higher in the heart than in the brain. Many think that brain is the center of intelligence, but intelligence is something which is there in your body. Maybe even at a cellular level, there is intelligence. So the body functions on information and intelligence. And the heart, in my understanding, it has the higher intelligence. So when somebody has a spiritual awakening process, they move into a heart-based living. Next comes the HRV, the heart rate variability. Here, what is measured is the time between two heartbeats. The longer the duration, the more the person's heart is healthy, the more the person has emotional intelligence. The person can control his emotions and thoughts, and hence their heart electromagnetic field is larger. Generally, the heart electromagnetic field in a normal person, that is the Vyanavayu or the auric field which I just showed you, this can extend maybe about a foot or two away from the body, or maybe 3 feet also. But when we undergo a spiritual awakening process or a Kundalini awakening process, this expands. It can go up to 15 feet also. And any information that is there in that zone, it will come into your knowledge. Now, in latest technology, people are using Kirlian photography to study their aura, but I don't think this captures the aura. The reason why I'm saying this is when the auric field is moving through the atmosphere around us, this is electrical in nature, electromagnetic energy. And when it is moving around our body, it is cutting through various gases that are there in the air, like oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen. And when these gases come into the auric field, the electrons within them get released. And when these electrons are released from these gases, you have various colors coming out. So many see these colors in the photograph and they think that there is an aura around their body, and that aura is there in this form of these colors. But what exactly you see in Kirlian photography is the various electrons that got dissipated when they were hit by the electromagnetic field of our aura. So I don't think it actually captures our auric field, but yes, it can give you an overall understanding as to how the energetic flow is. When our Vyanavayu is flowing upwards, we start questioning the external reality. As we are spiritually awakening, the force of this Vyanavayu gets stronger, and at one point it is flowing continuously. I spoke about a top down awakening and a Kundalini awakening. In a top down awakening, the flow that you feel moving through your body, through your spine, it is the auric field of the Vyanavayu. When this flow, which was originally thin in nature, it gets wider as we are spiritually evolving, we start questioning our reality. And when this flow gets even stronger, we are able to access the content in our subconscious mind. As I said earlier, the prana is what, or the vayus are what, which take you from one sheet to another sheet within us. And Vyanavayu plays a very major role here in my own experience. So the responsibilities of Vyanavayu is that it helps in circulation in the body. That is, the various circulatory systems that you have in your body, they function because of the flow of the Vyanavayu. The nervous system functioning, the various energetic movements you feel at the level of the pranic sheath, that is because of the Vyanavayu. Then it even coordinates balance between the left and right side of your body. It even controls your muscular system. We have to understand that all the major Vayus, they don't function independently. They are dependent on each other. So the self, I said that the self resides at the level of the heart. It is the individual consciousness. And if you notice, the Vyanavayu or the auric field, the seat of it is the heart. And how is this connected to other movements in your body? The prana, that is the in breath and the out breath that we take, that is what sustains the body. So the reason why we are alive is because we breathe. If we stop breathing, we will die. So this movement of prana, if you look at the picture here, at the level of the stomach, the vayus, the vayu that goes upwards is the prana. The vayu that goes downwards is apana. So in a way, the prana and apana are tugging with each other. They're pulling up, down, up, down. They're pulling each other. And when they're pulling each other up and down, we are breathing in, our diaphragm goes down, and we are breathing out. Diaphragm goes out. So in a way, in breath, diaphragm goes down because the apana vayu is going down. It is pulling the prana vayu downwards, and then we breathe out, and the abdomen, it rises upwards because the apana is pushing it upwards and the prana is pulling it upwards. So this is something like this movement that happens inside your body. And how does this work so well? It is because it is dependent upon the Vyana. So as long as Vyana is flowing correctly, then Apana and Prana, they both can keep that in breath out breath going healthy. In somebody who is not very spiritually evolved, you will notice that they breathe more number of times in a minute than somebody who is spiritually evolved. All that comes into play as your emotional intelligence is increasing, your Vyanavayu, auric field is increasing. The strength and intensity, the flow with which it is going up is increasing. When that happens, you breathe less number of times in a minute. And then in the stomach region, you have the Samanavayu. Samanavayu is a combination of Pranavayu and Apanavayu. So the Vyanavayu, it is depend upon the Samanavayu. So all these Vayus, they work together. So our body is amazing. It is amazing because it allows you to forget your reality, your inner nature, and it allows you to enjoy life. It can allow you to live as an independent entity in this physical reality. And when you are tired of life, or when you have no interest in the I, that lower I, you want to rise above it, the very functioning of your body changes. The Vayu movements change so that now you can realize yourself. So as we are moving into higher levels of consciousness, higher states of consciousness, the Apana Vayu, which is flowing downwards, turns upwards and starts moving upwards. And the Vyana Vayu, the auric field which is moving through the body, will allow the Apana Vayu to rise upwards. When that happens, we start questioning our reality. We come out of many of our behavioral loops. We can reach higher states of consciousness like bliss states, samadhi states, witness conscious states. At the higher level of our spiritual awakening process, the Udana Vayu, the Udana Vayu seat is here. It flows upwards into the brain. This also gets stronger and it starts flowing up. So the Vyanavayu that is rising through the body, the Udanavayu that is rising up through your throat, it is all taking your consciousness to a higher level. And there are other changes happening in the body with the prana and apana, and the samana vayu increases. So all these things, they help you to spiritually evolve. The heart field, it is a bioelectrical field. And what rests at the base of all these activities is the self, the individual consciousness, which resides at the level of the heart. This self is light. This self is the core of all the experiences, the activities of your various sheets. This self is the force behind your very existence. And from where does the self get its power? It is the source of power. It is by which you are able to experience yourself. So at the root of all these things is yourself, which resides at the heart. And the Vyanavayu, it has its seat in the heart. And that is why when the auric field flows very strongly, we spiritually evolve. We realize the self. What does this auric field consist of? The auric field, it is moving through all the chakras when it is rising through the body. If you look at your hand like that, place your hand in front of some white or black background. I would suggest a black background. Try to focus on it. You will see some layer here, and the more you focus on it, the more you try to look at it, you can get better at looking at it. We are just seeing some part or aspect of the auric field. The actual auric field is much larger. Only somebody with an open third eye can actually see the colors of aura. Not everybody can see it. Even if you have had a spiritual awakening, It is one of the psychic abilities that comes with an awakening, and not necessary that everybody has to have it. This can function in the way that either you see colors around people or plants, or when you move into a house, you can see colors there, or you can feel energetic vibrations, or you can just recognize the energy signature of a person. For example, say you want to do a business, and you met a person for the first time, and that person seems all very intelligent, nice, well behaved, with good intentions coming out of him. But then suddenly, during the conversation, when you look at the person, you will see that that person's face is changing. It looks evil. It looks as if there are a lot of bad motives in that head. And that gets shown in the face, like the facial features can get exaggerated. When you're looking at that person, you can see that the eyes are bulging out, they become red, or you can see that the mouth has become too wide, or it is like, I want to eat everything, I'm greedy. You can see that on the face. The energy signature of that person is changing the facial features of that person with somebody who is capable of seeing this. So the colors, even if the colors of the auric field are not visible to you, even when you have an open third eye, you can still sense the energy signature through your intuition, through your gut feeling, or you can have these visual experiences. Now that depends on how your inner system is wired to work. Some are more visual, some are more auditory, some are more sensitive to touch, some are more sensitive to emotions. So it is different for different people. The auric field, whether you can see it or whether you cannot see it, it still functions. It is moving through all these chakras, and all the information of the chakras is becoming part of your auric field. That is why when you go and sit in front of somebody who's an enlightened being, they can tell a lot about you, even when they don't know you, and that can take you by surprise. That is because they're able to study your auric field. It is visible to them. They know from where you came, they know what emotions you have, what thoughts you have, if you have motives, something about your past. It is all coming out to play. And they can see it because that Vyanavayu is moving through all the chakras. All the information of the chakras is going out of your body. When the Vyanavayu is rising upwards, another good thing that happens is if it is very strong, it protects you. When you're well protected with this auric field, even somebody around you has ill intentions towards you, they have certain motives towards you, they have an evil eye, or they are wishing bad for you. They cannot accept that you are in a happy place. They want to pull you down in consciousness. Such people will become helpless. No matter how much they try, their intentions will not affect you. They will not affect you because your auric field is pushing away all those intentions. We are not able to soak in or absorb those negative energies or intentions. When somebody is undergoing trauma, when they are suffering, when they have ill health, the auric field is not functioning properly, or when they have too much of karmic baggage, or when they are in abusive relationships, or when they are not living their life correctly, when they are not expressing their authenticity, the auric field does not flow strongly in that person. That is why they can get easily affected by negative energies, negative people. Negative people can attack them. They can get physically, mentally harmed. When the auric field is flowing strongly, it is your protection. It protects you, and not just protection, it allows you to manifest things into your life. Good health, fortune, a nice job, maybe a place where you want to stay, the right person comes into your life, the right experiences come into your life. The auric field does not allow you to get caught up in the lower third dimensional thoughts, emotions, or behavioral patterns. You are able to rise above them and look at the world from a higher intuition. You are able to connect with your higher self. When this energy is flowing strongly, understand that you are physically, mentally, emotionally very strong. You are protected. Whatever you wish to, if you want to start a new business, if you want to do a different kind of work, things will fall into place for you to do it. And the reason why this happens is the neurotransmitters in the body. They are produced at the level of the brain and spinal cord region. The hypothalamus, the region above it, is where a lot of neurotransmitters are produced. Our body produces hormones. Hormones are produced by the various glands that are there. Hormones have a long time effect on our health, whereas neurotransmitters keep changing. They have a shorter life. Some neurotransmitters are also categorized as hormones. So many of these hormones or neurotransmitters, especially neurotransmitters, when we have this strong auric field flowing, healthy neurotransmitters are produced in the brain, like oxytocin, GABA, glutamate, endorphins, dopamine. When we are producing healthy neurotransmitters, instead of producing, neurotransmitters like cortisol or adrenaline, which keep you in stress, when we are producing higher quality neurotransmitters, the neurotransmitters are the way through which we communicate to the universe. These neurotransmitters, their signature becomes a part of our auric field. And when the auric field leaves our body, goes out, and again re enters our body, it is communicating to the universe that there are higher quality neurotransmitters producing in this body. And what you attract into your life depends on the quality of neurotransmitters that are produced in your body, because your neurotransmitters are communicating with the external universe. To attract higher vibrational things, you should be of higher vibration. And you can only be of higher vibration when you have higher quality hormones or neurotransmitters being produced in your body. If somebody is caught up in stress, in abuse, they consider themselves unlucky, they're depressed, ill health, lower quality neurotransmitters are being produced in that person's body. And somebody who's through a lot of abuse and stress, pain, they are in the lower state of consciousness and they are producing adrenaline or cortisol. Body is caught up in the fight and flight mechanism constantly. So when we are producing higher quality neurotransmitters in the body, this becomes a communication to the external reality or the universe. And based on what you produce, you attract. You are attracting positive things into your life. You are attracting positive experiences into your life. Or certain types of experiences which may have a flavor which is different from positive or negative, but they still will allow you to grow spiritually in your life. I already mentioned that even planetary objects can have electromagnetic field, because any charged particle, when it is moving, it creates a perpendicular magnetic field. The earth has a strong electromagnetic field, and this strong electromagnetic field, just like the Vyanavayu or the auric field which we have, earth also has a electromagnetic field. Please look at the second picture. Here you can see the earth's electromagnetic field. It is like a magnet. And this electromagnetic field, it protects us from the solar emissions, solar winds. You have huge solar winds or flares coming from the sun. And if we did not have this electromagnetic field surrounding the earth, earth would be destroyed. There would be no life on earth. There are many different radiations coming in from the external universe. many different cosmic rays which can damage our atmosphere. All these things are pushed away by the electromagnetic field. Now, when I say Earth's electromagnetic field, this is different from the geographic North Pole or the geographic South Pole. Here you have two things. One is the location, that is, geographically, you have the North Pole and the South Pole. We all are aware of this. But the electromagnetic field, the North Pole and the South Pole of that is different. This is formed based on how the currents inside of Earth are moving. So the Earth's electromagnetic field keeps changing. Sometimes it is very strong, sometimes it can weaken, sometimes the poles can shift, south can become north, north can become south. But this takes lot of thousands of years for that to happen. Even in humans, our auric field can sort of, when you're not living life correctly, the auric field can dwindle. Some phases it can become very strong. In very higher states, it's flowing very strongly. These changes keep happening in a spiritual awakening process. The auric field of a human keeps changing. We get affected based on how strong or how weak our auric field is functioning. Maybe somebody wants to trouble you. When your auric field is strong, they cannot trouble you. But when it weakens, they get the opportunity to trouble you. And these keep changing in a spiritual awakening process. Your auric field flows sometimes less, or sometimes it flows more, until it gets established at a full flow level at the end of the process. Thereafter, it keeps flowing strongly. So Earth also, the electromagnetic field of the Earth also can dwindle, it can become stronger, it can uh, even vanish. But then this does not happen in a short period of time. It takes thousands of years. Now, do all planets have a strong electromagnetic field? The answer is no. Some planets have a weak field, some planets have no electromagnetic field, I think, and some have a very strong electromagnetic field. The compass that we use to see what is north, what is south to navigate, this is pointing towards the geomagnetic pole and not the geographic pole. That is, this works based on the Earth's electromagnetic field, the electromagnetic north and the electromagnetic south. And this is not pointing towards the geographic north. Please understand that they are two different things. So the electromagnetic field of Earth can keep on changing, and this changes based on how the Earth's mantle is shifting inside. At the inside of the Earth, the inner area, you have the core, which is strong, compact. Outside of that, you have the outer core, and then you have the mantle. Here, things are moving, shifting. This predominantly has iron and nickel in it. So iron, it can conduct electricity. So when the earth is rotating, the rotation has to be there, a kind of a spin. If there is no rotation, we cannot generate the electromagnetic field. So there are two factors here. One is that the earth is rotating and it is rotating at a particular speed. If the speed is less, then it cannot create an electromagnetic field. So the first factor is that the earth has to rotate, and next it should have some material inside of it which is shifting, which is moving, and this can conduct electricity. So inside we have iron, and the mantle is moving, and when it is moving inside, look at the second picture, it is generating concurrent currents inside. These currents are creating various magnetic fields inside the core of Earth. And this is how the Earth's strong electromagnetic, the field that is protecting Earth. That is how it is formed. One is this rotation speed, and the second is that it has iron that conducts electricity. And as long as the Earth's electromagnetic field is healthy, we are protected. If this is not functioning properly, for example, in Mars, the electromagnetic field is not functioning properly because the inner core of Mars does not have iron in it. That is why you will see that the atmosphere in Mars is not protected. Even if there's water on Mars, the water, the atmosphere, it'll all get destroyed by these solar uh, waves that are coming and hitting the planet. Whereas life exists on Earth here because we are protected by the electromagnetic field from all types of radiation. This is how our own auric field protects us. It protects us from all negative energies that are trying to come our way. And within this protection, we can evolve spiritually, we can manifest things into our life, we can do a lot of things in life. We can connect with our intuition, our creativity, all these things because your auric field is flowing strongly. This is the Iceland, the red arrow. It is pointing towards the northern part of Earth where Norway, Iceland, these countries are there. Here at the dark time in the night, you can watch certain display of colors called the Aurora lights. These lights are formed because our Earth's electromagnetic field is strong. And as long as Earth's electromagnetic field is strong and it is healthy, we will have the display of these lights. These lights are formed when the sun's solar energy it is hitting Earth. The solar winds are hitting Earth's atmosphere and they are cutting through various gases like nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and releasing many different electrons at different altitudes. And that is why we have different colors in these aurora lights. These are based on which altitude the electrons are getting discharged from the molecules. So as long as we see this display, we have to understand that Earth's electromagnetic field is strong. And the same can be applied to our own individual electromagnetic field. As long as healthy neurotransmitters are produced in the brain region, you will notice that our electromagnetic field is flowing very strongly. If we take our understanding on the Earth's electromagnetic field, the healthy functioning of it is dependent on rotation and it is dependent upon the iron that is there in the mantle. You can apply it to our body also. In our body, we have the chakras. And as this Vyanavayu is rising upwards, it is moving through chakras. Many can feel the chakra spinning. There is a rotation that is happening in the body. And this rotation is happening at different frequencies. These different frequencies are working together. There is a kind of a coherence that is getting established in the body. Along this, the Vyanavayu is rising up. The Vyanavayu, it feels like electric energy. Even Kundalini is electrical energy. So the electrical energy is moving up through the body. When it is moving up through the body, it is creating an electromagnetic field. And the next thing is the iron. If you look at our body, the major blood pathways, you will see it flowing through the path of the Vyanavayu. The blood consists of iron, and iron conducts electricity. The seat of the Vyanavayu is the heart, and heart is where you have lot of blood pumping. And this is where your Vyanavayu, it starts, the source. So the iron in your body is conducting the electromagnetic field. You have the ideal condition there in your body in a spiritual awakening process. That is why when somebody is undergoing a spiritual awakening process or a Kundalini awakening process, if they get their blood tested, they will see that their blood is thicker than the blood of others around them. My blood is very thick. In fact, there was a survey, blood survey that happened uh, in a place where I stay, where there are many homes, maybe a few thousands of homes. So when they came to my house to take a blood sample of mine, uh, the person who came to my house was surprised to see how thick my blood was. He showed my sample and he said, "See, I've not seen a sample which has blood as thick as this." And then he showed me the other samples which he has collected from many thousands of homes. He had, some of the good samples with him in his box. And I saw that there was a lot of variation in how my blood looked and how the others' blood looked. So when you're undergoing a spiritual awakening process, you will notice that your blood becomes thicker. It becomes thicker because it can conduct more of the auric field around your body, because the rotation of chakras, the electrical energy rising up your spine, and the iron that is there in your blood, it will allow this auric field to function better in your body than for a person who is unawakened. When the aura is flowing strong, we feel connected to God. We feel like there is a higher power that is watching over us. We can communicate with it. We can communicate with our astral gurus. We can download higher information, universal knowledge into our head. We understand things. We feel connected to everything. And the aura, it has a lot of information about us. How we process emotions, how we process thoughts, our personality. All these things become part of the aura. We have to understand that ultimately all these vayus that are working in our body, they're connected to each other. And when our auric field is strong, you will notice that you breathe mostly into your belly. You breathe, the number of times you breathe, it is less than in a normal person. Maybe you breathe about 6 or 8 times in a minute, because all these vayus are connected with each other, and the change in one vayu can affect the changes in the other vayus flowing in your body. So as long as these vayus are flowing correctly in our body, we are very healthy. We don't face ill health, and we can come out of karma easily, because the energy is moving upwards. And the upward rising energy, which is the Vyanavayu, can take the Apana Vayu up a little extent. So that way we are coming out of our karma also. Apart from the Earth's electromagnetic field, there's something called the Schumann resonance. This is a global electromagnetic phenomenon that occurs in the Earth's atmosphere. Here, the lightning which strikes Earth throughout the year in various places. This discharge of lightning, it acts like an antenna. It radiates electromagnetic waves at a very low frequency. These waves, they travel throughout Earth's surface and through the ionosphere of Earth, and they work together to create a global resonance. This global resonance is 7.83 hertz. That is how much they have found out that it is. And this is called the Earth's heartbeat. When our auric field is flowing strongly, there are certain changes that we experience, certain symptoms we experience in our life in the process, where we connect with the energies of the earth. I made a video on this earlier. I'll post the link to that video in the description box below. Here, the toes, the two big toes of your feet get activated. You will feel energy coming from the chakras, which are underside of your feet. They soak in or absorb certain energy from the earth, and that rises up both of your legs. It meets at the level of the Muladhara chakra, and then it rises up the spine. Your palm chakras also get activated. It moves like that, meets here, and they all go up into the head. This is one symptom many will experience in a spiritual or Kundalini awakening process. What is happening here is that you're connecting with the energies of Earth. You are able to connect with the heartbeat of Earth, that is the Schumann resonance. And this is at the frequency level 7.83 hertz. Now we experience various types of brain waves. When we are in deep sleep, it is delta wave. Theta wave is where you are little, a drowsy state, or you are maybe in a dream state, REM sleep. Alpha state is when you just come out of sleep, and this is where your brain is very active. That is why when we immediately come out of sleep, we are told to meditate or do some kind of a prayer, because here you're able to connect with divine energies better than in other brain wave states. Then comes the beta wave state, where generally where you're focused, working and concentrating. Next comes gamma, which can be experienced by people who are very highly evolved. They're into deep meditation, or certain yogis, certain monks, they can experience those states. So here we are talking about a phenomenon which is Schumann resonance, and that is somewhere between the theta and the alpha state, because the frequency wave here is 7.83 hertz. And when we are able to keep ourselves at that state, and you can naturally keep yourself at that state when you connect with the energies of Earth. When this happens, in a way, your heartbeat or your pranic movement is synchronized with the Earth's heartbeat. This can lead to states of deep inner peace, inner harmony, joy. And the more you spend time in nature, walk barefoot, go for baths in rivers and seas, the more you will connect with Earth's energies. If you're sitting indoors, nowadays many of them live in high-rise buildings, so we are in a way disconnected from Earth. But as we connect more and more with Earth, the more we can access this Schumann resonance frequency, which will bring us states of peace and joy and good health too. Having a good auric field is important. Apart from that, we have to understand that there are certain times in our life where we can get affected by the low flow of auric field, where we are more, exposed to the negativity around us because of changes in the auric field, or because our auric field can get contaminated. So earlier India, we had practices where we would use salt, chili to remove all the negative things in the auric field, or to uh, sanctify the auric field. I'm sure such practices existed in other parts of the world also. So everybody is familiar with the word evil eye. So many business people, they tie chilies, lemon to protect the aura of their work or the business. Many use certain types of images, certain tools, articles like a horseshoe, or the fourth picture here where you see that person, using a big pumpkin to remove any negativity that is there in the auric field of the house. So earlier we had these cleansing activities where we would cleanse our body, the articles we use, the business that is there, the space. We would purify it, remove it of all negative energy, because we understand that negative energy can affect us, and not just having a strong auric field is important, but cleansing it is also important. We can cleanse it in many different ways. Some, they burn sage in their homes to keep their home uh, sanctified. In India, we use something called sambrani. We burn it as part of our rituals here, so that the house, the any negative energy in the house is removed with the usage of sambrani or incense stick. So here we are trying to use the air quality, that is the in the five elements we have the earth, water, fire and air. These four elements can be cleansed. Akasha is space, so you can cleanse your space through using sage or sambrani or any other dhoop or incense sticks. Apart from that, our own body, when we take mud baths, we are purifying that aspect, that element within us. When we are taking regular baths, we feel good. The reason why we feel good is because, say, for example, you had a negative experience. You come home, you have a bath from head to toe. It feels like that negativity has got released from you because the water can cleanse your aura. Many take these hot spring water baths or sea water baths. All these things, they are cleansing our aura. Then you can use air element within us to cleanse the aura, and that is, as I said earlier, using sage or burning certain types of organic compounds which are locally available and which will allow you to cleanse your aura through the smoke that comes from it. Then comes the fire element. In temples, you will notice people giving arati, that is the fire offering that is given to the god, or the lamps that we light. We even have a ritual in India, which is there even today in our homes, where when somebody falls very sick, what they do is they get a new white cloth, they dip it in sesame oil, they show this cloth to that person, and they burn that cloth while the person is looking at that cloth. And when the person is looking at the fire coming from that burnt cloth, a lot of that negativity which is there in the auric field is it's getting released and getting burnt in that fire. So many such traditions, rituals are there in many parts of the world. Earlier days they were more popular, and I'm sure if you can look a little deeper into your own culture, you will find many such uh, rituals where you can keep your home and your aura clean, and all these things really work, especially when your auric field is not flowing very strongly and you feel that maybe you are getting easily attacked by negative ideas, psychic attacks. Maybe you will see more psychic entities. That is a time when you have to understand that you need to strengthen your auric field. The stronger your aura, the better you're able to connect with the earth's field. You can feel the heartbeat of the earth. You are, in a way, creating a communication loop between yourself and earth. And by using various relaxation techniques like mindfulness or meditation or certain rituals or chanting mantras, you can further enhance the strength of your auric field and your ability to communicate with the earth's field when you're in connection with things around you, because your auric field naturally connects you to a lot of things around you, and most importantly earth. More sensitive you are to these energies within you, the more you honor them, the more these energies will help you to evolve spiritually and protect you. Thank you.